Hi, kindergarten, and welcome back to the next part of Lulu Walks the Dogs, written by Judith Bjorst and illustrated by Lane Smith. Here we go, chapter 3. Well, maybe you already know, and maybe you don't. Because maybe Lulu first decided her job should be baking cookies or spying or reading to old people, and then those jobs did not turn out well. And maybe instead of writing a chapter about how those jobs did not turn out too well, I'm moving right along to chapter 4. Yep, chapter 4. Lulu decided that if she got up earlier in the morning, she could easily walk a dog before going to school. Somebody in the neighborhood must need a dog walker. Hey, maybe 2 different somebodies needed a dog walker. Hey, wait a minute, maybe even 3. Lulu was certain that she could handle the 3, and if she charged $2.50 a dog per day per dog, and if she walked 3 dogs 5 days a week, in 1 week Lulu could earn... Just give me a moment here, I'll tell you what she could earn. She could earn... Don't rush me. Okay, it's $36. Excuse me. It's $37.50. I've never been all that great with arithmetic. Using her mom's computer and printer, Lulu prepared an announcement that she stuck in all the mailboxes in her neighborhood. Here is what it said. Lulu, the outstanding dog walker, will walk your dog for $2.50 a day on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Her announcement included her telephone number so people could give her a call and make an appointment for her and the dog to meet. By the end of Saturday afternoon, 4 neighbors had telephoned Lulu. One of these neighbors, however, was, guess what? Who? Flashman! You've got a dog to walk? Lulu asked grumpily. I don't, Fleshman answered. My mom's allergic to dogs, but I know all about them. I'm sort of an expert. And after I read your announcement, I thought that if you'd like, I could give you some advice. That Fleshman had some nerve, wanting to give her dog advice when he didn't even have a dog. Although, to be honest, Lulu didn't either. Thanks, but no thanks, said Lulu in a not too thankful voice. What can be so hard about walking a dog? There's Fleshman calling her. Chapter 5. On Sunday, Lulu met 3 different dogs at 3 different houses, all in Lulu's neighborhood. Her mom went with her to every house, waiting outside on the sidewalk, just as she did on Halloween, in case the people inside were witches or ogres. None of them were. The first dog Lulu met was an enormous, big-headed, bad-breathed brute named Brutus, who circled around her snarling and sniffing and sniffing and snarling and sniffing while Lulu waved her hand in a cautious hello. Oh, my goodness, there he is with his owner. He's deciding whether he likes you, said Brutus's owner, who looked amazingly like Brutus. We'll know that he does if he starts thumping his tail. Lulu quit waving her hand and started saying, nice, Brutus, though she didn't think that Brutus was nice at all. And after he finally stopped with the circling and sniffing and snarling and sat himself down in front of her and glared at her out of his beady, bright red eyes, Lulu quit saying nice, Brutus, and glared right back. Just a little. While later, having decided they'd never be new best friends, Lulu announced, well, I'll be leaving now. But as Lulu started to leave, Brutus jumped up, ran over, and knocked her flat down on the rug. Then proceeded to lick her face and thump his tail. Brutus's owner pumped one fist in the air and announced approvingly, he likes you! Brutus likes you! He really likes you! Oh, my. And believe me, this This is a dog that doesn't like everyone. And believe me, said Lulu, standing up, wiping globs of dog slobber off her face, I'm a girl who also doesn't like everyone. She was about to add that Brutus was among the everyone she didn't like when the owner said, You're hired, you're definitely hired. And furthermore, because Brutus is on the large side, I'm going to pay you 50 cents extra a day. On the large side? Brutus was gigantic. A mountain, a whale, an SUV of a dog. Still, $2.50 and then another 50 cents made $3 whole every single day, which meant that every 5 days, Lulu would earn, well, after she figured out what she would earn, she decided that this was an offer she couldn't refuse. And so she nodded and said, okay, when Brutus's owner said to her, see you Monday morning, 6:30 sharp. Chapter 6. As Lulu walked down the street to her second appointment, she started singing this money song, which all of a sudden had popped into her head. Jimmy, Johnny, Joseph, Jake, how much money will I make? Lori, Lucy, Lynn, Laverne, how much money will I earn? Money, 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 money. By the time she had sung her song a few times, she had come to the next door, where the doorbell was answered by someone who introduced herself to Lulu as Pookie's mommy. She wasn't a dog, of course. She was a plump pink human being with many curls. Did you really think that a dog would answer the doorbell, open the door, and introduce herself? A teeny tiny white fuzzball was nestled cozily against Pookie's mommy's chest and held in place by Pookie's mommy's left hand. As Pookie's mommy explained, hang in there, please. This sentence is long. I'll show you Pookie and her mom. That though her little girl's name was spelled Pookie, and the Pook part rhymed with Duke and not book, and that Pookie got very upset if she was called by a name that rhymed with the wrong word. You'll never have a problem if you just remember Duke, said Pookie's mom, or Puke. Lulu secretly thought, but did not say. Otherwise, you're sure to hurt her feelings, and trust me, you wouldn't want to hurt Pookie's feelings. Lulu soon learned that the other thing that was sure to hurt Pookie's feelings was expecting Pookie to walk when Lulu walked her. Here's how this works. Pookie's mommy explained. You're the one who walks. Pookie gets carried, and when it's time, you'll sit her gently underneath a tree, and she will do whatever she's supposed to do. How will I know when it's time? Lulu asked. And Pookie's mommy answered, not to worry. She will let you know. During this whole conversation, Pookie never opened her eyes, not even when she was handed over to Lulu, who was urged by Pookie's mommy to practice saying Pookie's name several times. Nicely done, said Pookie's mommy to Lulu after she finished practicing her ooks. I'm offering you the job of Pookie's dog walker. Lulu didn't think much of a dog that couldn't even be bothered to open her eyes, but she very much liked the $12.50 that she would be paid every week to walk her. Remember, as she did now and then, the manners she had learned from Mr. B, Lulu said to Pookie's mommy, thank you, I accept. I'll see you at 6:32 on Monday morning. And we got time for chapter 7, real quick. A third house Lulu stopped at was a haunted-looking house. Its yard overgrown with half-dead bushes and weeds and all kinds of wrecked and rusted and ratty old furniture, pots, bikes, toys, and other junk piled helter-skelter on its saggy front porch. The skinny man and woman who answered the door in the matching warm-up suits and baseball caps greeted Lulu warmly and then started poking around in the mess on the porch with Mr. explaining. Our dog is in there somewhere, said Mrs. explaining. Cordelia loves to hide. And this is what their house looked like. Since Mr. and Mrs. seemed to be having trouble finding Cordelia, Lulu joined in the hunt for the hidden dog, whose tail or ear or eye or leg would make a brief appearance and then once again vanish. Finally, Lulu, desperately trying to grab some part of Cordelia, instead knocked down a broken down bike off the top of the pile, which was followed by an avalanche of water-soaked books, chipped dishes, several window screens with holes, and one yapping dog. Lulu covered her head with her hand to keep it from being bopped by a falling screen. With the other hand, she reached out for Cordelia. "Gotcha," said Lulu. "Good job," said Mr. and Mrs., who patted her shoulder and told her she was hired. And Lulu, handing them back their dogs, said to Mr. and Mrs., "I'll see you Monday morning at 6:34. Time out. I can tell you already have questions for me, and I think I know what they are. So why don't we take a time out and get them over with?" And we'll do that tomorrow. Have a great day. See you tomorrow for the next part of Lulu Walks the Dog.